like to support the channel. Also, you can do it by way of Patreon, Anchor, the clothing store, and also the shoe shop that is listed in the comment description below. And again, thank you to any and all of you guys who have been here to support this channel during the 2+ year period. I wouldn't be able to do what I do every single day without you.
Guys, you wanted a baked potato with your steak, right?
Ladies, y'all know how y'all.
First off, please go back and watch my cousin. That's my cousin now. Watch the rest of what my cousin explains. I co-sign what he's saying with my whole chest. Ladies, having a partner like you who handles things like that for us, it takes so much off of our brain and allows us to continue trying our best to bring you the world. So when we have a woman like you who's going to make sure things like the onion on my burger is fried, because that's what I requested if we're at a restaurant, thank you. Shoot, that thing's like y'all coming up behind us and giving us a hug from behind. Like, thank you, babe. Want to go boat shopping?
All right, so we were able to hear the brother directly in the video, right? So one of the comments I had to actually get directly off of my phone and then upload it directly to the front of the thumbnail. And I'm not sure what happened because I'm looking at two different, comment screens, one on the phone and one directly on TikTok as well. So the one woman named Novamind stated, "Why don't you handle it and let me conquer the world? People that use the word feminine energy are the ones looking for mommies. Hashtag please evolve." And no. Another person said, "Please evolve. This 100%. Another person said, "Right. I want to conquer the world." Another person said, "Too much like right." Like, you had a lot of women or others that wanted to agree and co-sign that comment, right? So now we go directly over to the TikTok where I'm hoping that you guys can see my mouse. You see some other comments here. Another woman said, "Since you don't tag the videos, I have no idea what this is about." Another person said, "In the meantime, our brains are wholly exhausted. We aren't doing this just for our partners, but also our children. Our brains are tired." Now, I want people to understand, nowhere in this video, at least from what I can recollect, did this man mention anything about kids. But every single time that there's a video about a relationship or marriage, automatically the go-to that women always want to state is like, well, we can't do everything because we're always worrying about the home, we're always worrying about the kids, we're pregnant, we're always on our feet. But I'm just trying to remember, I could have sworn that a lot of women said that, hey, I'm not trying to be a mom, I'm not trying to be a stay-at-home, I'm not trying to raise any kids. So why is it that we know this is what women have been preaching for years and years and years? So why is that the main go-to? We're removed. Just remove the kids, remove the pregnancy directly out of there. Matter of fact, remove taking care of the home. Because remember, women said that they wanted to be able to go out there and work just as hard, if not more than men. So again, we have two people that are in a relationship that are together, right? So why would you be so exhausted? You're working the same hours as the guy. You're not dealing with anything that's extra. You're just dealing with yourself and the guy. There's nothing more, nothing less. So where is the argument? What specifically is the problem? Because again, this brother didn't say anything wrong. He didn't. He was like, yo, you doing something so simple for me, I appreciate that a lot. It does a lot, directly for me. And I keep trying to reiterate and tell a lot of women that guys are actually pretty simple. It's like, if you just so happen to bring your boyfriend or your husband a lunch to work, the dude will be ecstatic. He'll be ready to just clock out right now and and just go home, because like, yo, this is crazy. Like, you really went out of your way to, do some, like I said before, it doesn't take a lot. It does not, like, guys do not request a lot from a woman in a relationship, but for whatever reason, whenever women happen to explain it, they make it seem like guys request the most Herculean, type of Odysseus tasks that have ever, been requested in eons. And I'm like, that's not how we work. We literally work off of being appreciated, respected, food. It's just, it's pretty much it's that simple, right? But when you look through the comments as we're going to keep going, you'll see that I'm not sure, what a lot of time that women are on at this moment in time, but it's something different. Let's look at some of these replies, right? Another woman said, yes, you need 1 billion likes. Another person, 100%. Another person, marks, all across the board. Another person, so draining. Another person, this is what they don't get. Another person, exactly. Please take things off our plate. Stop adding to it. I'm so tired of y'all. Like, what's happening? What is happening? And the funniest thing is, the woman above mentioned kids, right? She mentioned children. And I bet you some of the women that are leaving comments don't even have kids. But they're just agreeing because it's a woman saying it. It's that whole sisterhood thing. It's like, oh, somebody that looks like me said it, I'm going to go out there and directly agree, even though I don't know any of what it is that she is talking about, even though that's not my life experience, even though I don't have any kids at this moment in time. I'm still going to shake my head and nod in agreement because we're all women, and women always have to agree whenever a woman speaks. That's what you're seeing. And you're going to see that through a lot of these comments as well. Another person said, translation, hold everything down so I can continue to try my best. The funniest thing is, if a guy, you can legitimately see a guy out here, he has an education, you see him working, or you see him, taking care of his business, whatever that is. It's crazy that when a guy says that I am trying or I am doing, it's not enough. But you can actively see the man's actions. It's not like he's lying to you. It's not like he's just standing still and not doing anything. But yet, whenever a man states something, it's like the words that are used, people just want to highlight and just harp on that repeatedly. They just want to use that. And then you'll have a whole bunch of other women that'll chime in and be like, oh, yeah, I know what that is. I've dated a lot of guys that have tried and they tried to do nothing, right? It's crazy. Let's look at these comments. So one person said, right, try. Another person said, thank you. We need to handle while they try their best. Hang up on you. Not in the mood. Another person said, giving your everything to a man when he gives you nothing generally results in the woman being taken advantage of or left for someone else. But, the funniest thing is when you look at the divorce rates, 80% of the time, if not higher, women are the main ones looking for a divorce. When you look at statistics, when it deals with relationships where it's a woman and another woman, you will see high rates of cheating. But nobody wants to talk about that, though, right? Nobody wants to talk about how it is that even when women are with other women, magically cheating still takes place. It still happens. It's still high. And that makes no sense because remember, only men are the ones that do this. Right? Men invented cheating, right? So only men do this because only men can comprehend it, right? Women are just doing it now just to sit up there and get back at men for all the eons and eons and eons, right? Of time doing this. But, like I said before, people don't want to pay attention to the things taking place. And nobody wants to look at the numbers or nobody wants to look at the stats. They just want to have an echo chamber where other women are going to come directly through and just agree, not critically think, not question, not even dissect, and try to figure out if their life experiences match up or even fit directly into this box that they're automatically trying to check off and agree with because they see another woman talking about it, right? Another person said, giving I want mama vibes, right? So let's see this. So she said literally, oh, so you want a mom. Another person said, don't you guys want fathers that put up with your attitude and buy you things unapologetically? And the woman replied, nope, no, that's true. because I've covered a lot of videos where women said that I need a man who can handle me. And I directly went into my bag and I was like, hey, let me show you some things that need to be handled. Dynamite needs to be handled, nuclear waste needs to be handled, chemicals on the periodic table need to be handled, right? You got all types of armaments that need to be handled. Certain types of electronic equipment needs to be handled, right? These are things, these are objects that need to be handled to a certain degree because certain ones are very severe. They require hazmat suits, right? They can be very corrosive at times. They can cause cancer. Other objects such as computers are very sensitive, but yet also very important at the same point in time. So you have to take very good care of those, right? Because they do a lot of things instantly. But hearing a woman sit up there and tell a man, "You got to be able to handle me. You got to be able to handle a real woman," that sounds crazy. Animals, you have to handle them because they have attitude problems. Some animals don't know how to act, right? You have to train them, right? Certain animals may come with certain types of diseases, right? So again, you got chemicals, you got animals, and you got objects. All three of those things you have to be able to and know how to handle. At no point in time should a man have to ever, quote unquote, handle a woman. Last time I checked, a woman said that she is not an object. She is not a an animal, correct? So what specifically are we stating at this moment in time? This is why I keep trying to tell people that words are important. If you're telling men that you need to be handled, you're saying that you're either an animal or you're saying that you're some type of dangerous object of which I need a hazmat suit and I need to be very cautious of because you could potentially affect my life in such a negative way that it's irreversible. But like I said, when women get online and they want to agree with other women, they don't critically think and they don't break down the things that they're agreeing with. They're just agreeing with it because another woman said it. So the next one that we got, I don't even need to go through the rest of her replies. Don't even need to do it. So the next one that we have here is this one. Said, these little boys want moms, not partners. Why is it that whenever a man talks or speaks and he's stating that, hey, this is what I actually like. I appreciate when a woman, does this, or the times that I can recall that I had a woman do this for me. Automatically, it's stated that men are boys. What are we doing here? Like what specifically is taking place? So I'm gathering that only women can specifically state their wants and their needs without some way being deemed a child, right? Because magically only women are adults and men are the only ones that are children, right? Because that's what I'm trying to understand. That's what I'm gathering from this, right? So then we're gonna go directly underneath this comment to see what the replies were. Another person said, right. Another person said, same as women wanting men to pay for everything like fathers. No, it's the same dude. And she replied back, what fathers pay for everything except rich ones? Well, I'm not sure what father you've had because when I've gone through TikTok, there has been fields of women who have stated that their fathers still to this day, and I'm talking about you got women who are in their 30s and their 40s, they're still stating that their fathers take care of bills. Their fathers help them with cars. I'm talking about putting money on cars. Their fathers still give them, like I said, money, just in general. So I'm not sure what specifically she's trying to get at or how she's not paying attention to a lot of these things. This is why I sit up there and tell people that people are very selective in the content that they want to look at because it fits a certain narrative. If it goes against and does not fit their narrative, they're not going to listen or watch it. They're going to be like, well, I've never seen it before. It doesn't exist. I've never heard of this, right? That's what they're going to decide to do because they never wanted to look at an alternative side. They never wanted to look at another viewpoint, right? So this is why you have her stating this and a reply back to a guy. She don't got nothing else. She literally has nothing else. But let's see what else is directly down here because I'm interested. So he replied back, the topic is desire, LOL. Do you know what that means? She said, but most women don't desire a father man. Maybe you women maybe you women with daddy issues, but not most of us. Uh, Another person said that's the system that has been put in place. You like those type of women because you need someone to depend on you, because without that, you're not a man in that system. What? How are you trying to explain what? Let's keep going. He replied, is that why the sprinkle lady has millions of followers on here, or is it that normalized? You can't have both, dude. Another person said we can. What? And this is what I'm talking about. The dude is literally trying to make logic of a situation. He's trying to sit up there and tell you, it's like, yo, you can't sit up here and say that you're in a sense independent, you don't need this, you don't need that, you don't even need a man, but then at the same time you're putting out a request and telling men this is what you need to do in order to get women. Men need to sit up there and step up. You need to do this for that. Doesn't make any type of sense. Which one is it? Do you not need a man? Are you 100% independent and you could just go off and conquer the world by yourself as a woman? Or do you want a husband? Do you want that the end of the road type of thing, which everybody's been pretty much raised up on? Like I said, you're not going to sit up here and try to tell people that it's both at the same time, because it's not. Something is going to cancel out because it always does. That's just what happens. But when you look at Betty down there, she said, no, us women, we can have both. And there you have it, guys. There you have it. And this is why, as the guy stated, the sprinkle lady has millions of followers. And the millions of followers that she has are more than likely specifically women. Like I said, it's crazy. You cannot make any of this stuff up. And he came back and said, by definition, that is an oxymoron and cannot exist. So no, LOL, sorry. So let's see these replies here. Came back and said, cried. Another person said it's giving post-slavery trauma syndrome. They have a fantasy about being able to rest and be served like the master. What? Where did we, how did we get here? Oh my God. Where are we even at right now? Where? Where where I'm I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss. Right when everything was just like funny, it was just, getting hysterical. You got somebody that just wanted to dip back into the past, like, oh yeah, this is slavery. Huh. They think like they think that they're the plantation owners. They think they giving that type of energy where we'll just sit up there and serve. What? Where are we even at? At this moment, where are let me just keep going. I'm just gonna keep going. Another person said slavery. That's what you got out of the little bit that the next person said hard pass. You do it. Another person said, I guess he needed a woman like that to tag the video. And he actually responded back. Matter of fact, let me see something. Let me see these replies. Somebody said best comment. They're just laughing. I'm waiting for somebody to actually say something to the content creator. Talking about crying, just laughing. See how this works? Like, see, you got the actual content creator directly down there, and the women could actually try to argue and they could try to say some stuff, but they're not trying to do any of that because they don't have anything. Because at the end of the day, what he stated, he didn't say anything wrong. He wasn't disrespectful. He didn't devalue. He was like, yo, I really appreciate when women, sit up there and do this. This is like something like incredibly just like so simple. It's like, wow, you really, did that for me and yada yada yada. And it's like they're taking that some other type of way. And it's like it's crazy to me, right? But like I said, they don't want to say anything. When the actual person who makes the content is there, magically the people who always want to talk and leave comments, they don't have nothing to say when they can directly get in contact with the creator. It's crazy. It's crazy how that works. Another person said the mental load is killing us. What mental load? What mental load? Because I could have sworn women are like, yo, I ain't trying to get married. I ain't trying to have kids. So you X all of that, including the pregnancy, directly out of the window. Those three major things. It's only a man and a woman. What mental load? What is so difficult? What is so hard? I don't see it. I don't get it. So now we got to go to the most classic of classic comments, because magically every woman, including women who've never had a relationship, never been through this situation, they can all agree, they can all understand, they can all empathize and sympathize, right? And she's speaking for all women here. She was like, nope. Then it just gives you more time to chase new women. Over time, it becomes an expectation and not appreciated. Sincerely, 12 years wife, 60 days into the divorce process. Ma'am, at the end of the day, that was you and your husband's relationship. What bearing does you and your husband's relationship have to do with any other man or woman's relationship directly out here? What bearing does that have? It has zero. It has none. Just because you went through something that was negative or bad, and like I said before, we only have one side of the story. Literally, one side of the story. We don't know what anybody else was doing. She's only listing this one thing. We don't even know if the man actually cheated or not. We don't know what happened. Because you have a lot of people that will decide to go out on social media and state something just for sympathy points. And far too many times, you've seen a lot of instances of women on social media lying on social media in order to gain attention and sympathy points, all for people to dig deep, do a little bit of research, and find out that it was all made up. So, like I said before, I can't even really believe what it is that this woman wrote, because too many women are on social media literally lying every single day. How do I actually know that this woman is even married or that she's ever been married? Right? Just saying. Like I said, I got to critically think out here. I have to question, because far too many women have already said, like, oh, I'm never getting married. I'm opting out of kids. I'm opting out of, being a stay-at-home mom. The real women who are opting, who are actually living by what it is that they are stating, those are Asian women. They're like, yo, we're not doing this. We're going to create a movement. We're staying away from men. We're staying away from relationships. We're staying away from marriage. We're staying away from kids. We're going to be working just as hard and just as many long hours as men. And we're going to be living single, and we're going to love it. Like I said, shout out to those Asian women, because they're actually about that life. They're not just out here online making videos continuously for content purposes just to get money and to garner support and whatnot for women, while living a double life of having a boyfriend or a husband and kids at the end of the day. They're actually living it. So like I said, shout out to the Asian women out there that are actually about that life. Because for whatever reason, you got too many American women that are just talking. I'm just going to sit up there and be real. Like I said, I got more respect for people who are about what it is that they say that they are actually about, and not just talking. Right? Just saying. Just saying. Let's continue. Another person said, who is frying your onion? Marriage benefits men and men alone. The funny part is, okay, so we got this, right? So marriage benefits men only, right? And divorce benefits all women. How about that one? So now we're even. It is 50-50, the same thing that a lot of women say that they don't like, right? A lot of women will sit up there and state that they want a man to do all of these things, for them during the marriage, and that they're not going to pretty much do anything. They're just going to exist. Right? And women always sit up there and say, oh, I'm not about 50-50. If you're doing 50-50, you're weak as a man and all this other type of stuff, right? But then magically when divorce happens, women are like, okay, now we're doing 50-50. I want 50% of everything. Hold on, bruh. What happened? You just sat up there and told the world that 50-50 doesn't exist. 50-50 should not be happening, and that a man should be covering and pretty much doing everything for you while you just simply exist. And you just bask and bathe in the sunlight, and that's it. But when it comes to divorce, you magically believe in 50-50. Somebody has to make that make sense. Because that sounds like to me, you want your cake and eating it too. That's what that sounds like to me. But like I said, when you call out these things, people ignore it. People act like you're lying. People act like, oh, you're gaslighting, all this other type of. It's crazy. Like I said, on social media, you'll see this take place too many times. You'll see women say one thing, and then once something else walks through the door, they switch it up real quick. Right? Another person said, I was married for 23 years. I handled it all. It was never appreciated. Glad not to do it anymore. Again, I'm trying to figure out, who specifically did you marry? Because the funniest thing is, I hear a lot of women talking about divorce. I'm not getting married. I'm a divorcee, all this other type of stuff. I did this and that. But I'm never hearing any of these women state that they got, that they are divorcing a nice guy, that they're divorcing a dude that actually loved, cared about, and respected them. So I'm pretty sure a lot of these women that are getting divorces, they have the dudes out there that actually appreciated them for the women that they are, but those women didn't appreciate those men for who it is that they are and what it is that they presented, because they felt that those dudes were less than, and those women felt like they were more than that man. So it was like, well, I'm a woman, I'm all the way up here. It's great that you see that way, and that appreciate me like that, but it's just not going to work out because I need something more. So those women were sitting up there reaching for the stars, not understanding that when you touch a star, it's going to be hot. So they were reaching for the wrong thing. So instead of staying directly within their climate, within their orbit, they wanted to sit up there and shoot off to another solar system, another galaxy, which they didn't understand. But like I told people before, you're going to get what it is that you got. You're going to receive whatever it is that you say that you want to receive. Right? And a lot of these women, I'm just taking note. Every time I hear a woman talking about a bad relationship or being divorced and not having a father of the children directly in their lives, it's always from the other guys. Shout out to Adele. Hello from the other side, right? Because that's where a lot of women like to go. They don't want to stay on the side where the nice guys are, where the manageable guys are, where the guys who are going to respect them, who are going to have sympathy and empathy, who are, going to do all of these things, right? Because that's too much like right. Women don't want the things that they say that they actually want. They want the opposite. So this is why you have a lot of these women, they're divorced, they're in bad relationships because they want the opposite of whatever it is that they're specifically telling us and also telling the universe. But the universe knows what it is, so the universe is going to give them exactly what it is that they want. It is what it is. Another person said, you have to find a man/partner that appreciates these things. If you don't, you will see it as more work instead of actual love language. Let me see what some women had to state about this. Right? Another person said, actually sees it and recognizes it as a gift it is rather than an entitlement that they don't even notice. Like it's crazy. Like I expected to see. Let me just keep looking down here. I am shocked. There is no opposition directly out here trying to call her a pick me or anything like that. That's crazy. And even the content creator said like, LOL, I'm glad you get the point. Right? So this person said they mean it to be unpaid labor for women. They honestly don't care whether it's reciprocated or not, claiming it's our duty or makes us good little ladies. What? Yo, it's crazy how a lot of people want to shift this towards some type of like slavery like mentality or forced ownership type of, like, it's crazy. And I keep trying to tell women out here, you got a lot of women out here that are specifically placed out here to keep other women single. And y'all don't even understand it, but it's happening directly in 4K. All of these other women, shockingly enough, from the experiences that I've seen online, did not have an issue with what it is that the woman up top stated. Up until you basically come down to this one right here, Sandra Graham. Wow. Like I said, women, keep listening to women like this Sandra Graham. She's gonna make sure that y'all all single. She's going to keep you within one area. Like I said, people think that there is a gender divide. It is, and you have certain people out here leading that charge like this. Just pointing it out in 4K. So let's go to the last few. Right, another person said, but when it comes to us, right? Let's look at this. Person said, just another willing participant in the lowest level of human consciousness known to man. Another person said, have y'all watched my other videos? Right? Another person said, so this is clickbait to watch more videos. The only thing I wish to observe is humanity's collective rise and righteous. Obviously, that's a no. Obviously, it's a no. Another person said, just go sit in the corner until they need an onion on a burger, I guess. These men are lost. Another person said, completely left behind. Another person said, trying to give you. I'm gonna keep my comments to myself. I'm gonna keep it rolling. I'm not even gonna do it today. Not even gonna do it. Another person said, "LOL, I invested my feminine energy into rescuing a shelter cat and taking myself shopping. I've truly never been so content. I recommend this lifestyle to all women." So I just want people to understand this person right here, Laney S. Like I told you before, and like I said, I didn't go through all of these comments before. This is my first time literally looking at that comment. She literally told you exactly what I said to you. You have people out here that are leading the charge for women to be single and separate from men. People think that, oh, it's just men sitting up there doing this because they want to rule, they want to do this. No, you have a lot of women that don't want to see women with men at all. They don't. They do not at all. She literally just told you. She was like, women, do exactly what I did. Go out there and rescue, get you a pet, and go out there and take yourself shopping. It's the happiest that you'll ever sit up there and be. You're self-reliant, you're independent. You don't have to deal with any male energy at all. It's just you, your animals, and also maybe you dealing with other women. That's it. That's all you need. That's literally what she said. She was like, I recommend this lifestyle for all women. I love to be proven right. I love to be proven right all day long. Like this right here, this comment made my whole week. Let me just tell you, this comment made my whole week because I've been preaching and saying this for the longest time possible. That you have a lot of women out here that are just solely on social media to try to just say something real quick to get a whole bunch of women's attention in order to feed this type of thing. Like I said, it wasn't that long ago that I gave you guys a video where it showcased that a woman that's in a very powerful position did her best for decades to make sure that women were going to be separate from men. They made sure that they had the businesses. They made sure that they had the dinners and the outings. They made sure that they had the vacations. They made sure just to enlist all of those women and just to have those women consistently around other women, around other women, around other women. Like I said, but nobody wants to listen. I can put the information, I can put the proof directly in front of people. I can give the information directly from the horse's mouth, and people will still decide to look the opposite way and try to say that men are the problem, try to sit up there and say that men are lying on women. It's crazy. It's crazy. Another person said, we have to do everything and we don't even get anything in return. Half of the time, we ask for simple things and y'all can't even give us that. Huh? What are you even talking about? So you mean to tell me that all the times that men literally go their lives to sacrifice, right? Men go out there and they, of course, men do stuff to better themselves, but we also know that if we get certain things, let's say like an education, we have, houses, we have jobs, we have the shiny things, whatever it is, we build ourselves up to the point that we know that it'll gain a woman's attention or that we will be able to gain women's attention and it will open the doors so that hey, we got a better shot at obtaining love, obtaining a relationship, getting married, and all these other types of things. Like I said, yes, men do sit up there and do things in life to build up themselves, to make themselves better, but also we do things because we know that in return it's going to hey, open the door so that women can actually like see us like hey, this is what I got. So this is why in a lot of conversations you just so happen to have guys that will lead with like, okay, this is what I've built, this is what I've done, this is how much money I've made, this is all the places that, because they're trying to establish and basically show that yo, I've done all the work, I've built myself up, this is what I've expected for myself, this is what I've given to myself, and because I've given this to myself and I've experienced this, I want to open the door and also give the same experience in the same life and share this with somebody else. But you can't explain that to a lot of women because a lot of women don't want to hear that. They're not trying to hear the explanation that a man gives because a woman already has a pre-written notion and an explanation in her head of whatever it is that a man has already stated, which makes no sense. So it's like, why do you even want a man to talk if you already have, books written down on what men are going to say, what they should be saying, and all of these things, right? Another person said, I'm not even going to go through the rebuttals. And the funniest thing is going back to this one up here. Notice how she got 8 likes, but no women basically came directly under the comments. Notice that. But when you go to the other ones down here, you got women skipping directly over, up and down these comments. But they saw her comment And they were like, yeah, we might have a problem with men, but we don't have that much of a problem. See that? So that lets you know that the women out here do notice certain things, and there is some type of common sense that is there. But far too often, a lot of women allow the emotional side to override the common sense and the logic side, right? So then we're going to continue to this one. Said, this is where the messages get misconstrued. Men aren't reciprocating as much as they talk about it. My ex-husband doesn't even know where our vacuum was, but argued with me about waking me up mornings. Ma'am, like, yo, I'm getting tired of seeing women up here talk about these one-off, one-shot stories where it's like, yeah, I was married to this dude and such and such and such. Man, that's great for you. And again, you accepted that dude's hand in marriage. You knew who that man was before you decided to say I do. Y'all dated, y'all done sat up there and bumped and grinded. Y'all did a whole bunch of stuff. You saw red flags, you saw all of these other types of things, but you still opted to be with him, even though you had other choices of men that you could have had as a suitor. But you opted not to go for those guys because whatever that specific dude had that is now your ex-husband, you decided to run with that and thought that that was the best thing since sliced bread. So, like I said, all of these complaints that I'm hearing from women is completely nonsensical and it doesn't make any type of sense because you can easily sit up there and state that I don't want to get married to you because of X, Y, and Z. For whatever reason, those women decided not to do it, but they want to now get online after 10, 20, whatever years, and now they want to vent their frustrations and make it seem like a blanketed statement and generalize all men as if all men are their husbands. That's crazy. Then you got another woman down here saying, I'm tired. What are you tired of? What are you tired of? What specifically are you tired of? Because you're not saying nothing. And anyways, anyways, this video went on for way too long. I might even make this into like I might do this as like a live stream or something like that and just do it that way because YouTube is acting a little bit funny. But any which way it goes, if you made it this far in the video, much love, respect, and appreciation to everybody that is here. I'm sorry, everybody that watched. I'm saying it like I'm in a live stream. Much respect and appreciation to everybody that paid attention to the video. All probably 120 people that's probably going to watch this video. Again, thank you guys for the support, for the love and everything. That you guys give to the platform. And like I said before, I'm going to continue doing my best to bring forth and make content. And hopefully, YouTube will stop being so heavy-handed directly on this platform for whatever reason. But yeah, catch you guys on the next video or maybe live stream.